I'm sure that you're subscribed to a few companies' text alert. So, what kind of content do you see on those messages on a regular basis? And is this type of advertising something that your service company could benefit from? We're going to jump into the hows and the whys today on Built to Scale. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am your host, Jeff Lambert. Today, we're going to be talking about the whys and hows of texting or SMS marketing for your small home services company. We're going to talk about what SMS marketing is and why it's especially lucrative. We're also going to give you some examples and tips to help you get started if you think this is a good fit for your business. So let's start off by defining our terms. What is text message marketing? Text message marketing is when businesses send short form marketing content via text message or SMS. SMS is actually an abbreviation for short messaging service. It gets you in on one of the most popular ways to communicate today in 2021. 78% of consumers say that texting is the activity they do most often when they're on their smartphone throughout the day. On top of that, 92% of Americans have a cell phone with messaging capabilities. So you have to ask yourself, what should I look at if I'm thinking about this option for my services company? Well, we know that people use text messages. We know that people have the ability to receive them. What are some reasons that you should actually consider expanding your marketing capability to send text messages to potential or current customers? Well, some reasons that we could look at include that SMS messages from businesses to consumers have been shown to have a 98% open rate, and that's compared to only a 20% open rate for emails. People look at text messages that are sent to their phone. SMS messages have an average click-through rate of 36%. You compare that to email marketing. Emails only get about an average of 3.4% click-throughs from consumers. Huge difference. In fact, in a 2021 study of 827 US consumers and 543 business owners, they found that 76% of brands right now are planning to invest in text messages marketing. And next year, 62% of consumers are planning or have intention to subscribe to at least one text message update from a company that they support. Consumers also reported in the study that they receive and reply to texts within 1 to 2 minutes of when they're sent. So the receipt and the reply of emails is much slower. That can take up to an hour. So you have the ability to have an in-the-moment conversation with your audience by using SMS text messages. 56% of people would rather text a business than call customer service on top of that. So there's an opportunity here for marketing and for customer support. Just something to think about. So if this all sounds good to you and you see an opportunity here to better market your company to today's consumer, the next logical question to ask yourself would be what platforms are best for SMS marketing and which ones have a history of working with home services companies that would fit best for this industry? Well, Business News Daily did an excellent article on this topic, and they actually came up with the list of the best SMS marketing services for this year, 2021. We went through that list and we picked out the ones that we've used or that our clients have used, specifically home services businesses, and we have that to present to you today. The first company on our list is EZ Texting. That's EZ Texting. They're the best overall SMS messaging marketing service that we would recommend that you try. They're engineered for small businesses. There are service companies that use them actively. They have excellent customer support, and their pricing is reasonable. So that would be the best overall company that we recommend that you start with. The next one would be a company called Textedly. We recommend them as a company to use if you are starting off small. If you're a services businesses with a very small budget, maybe you only have 2 to 3 employees, and you're looking for a great beginner option that isn't going to cost a lot of money, and again has a very low difficulty level to be able to begin using, we recommend Textedly for that individual consumer. And third, and most of all, even though it's a little bit more expensive, there's a service called Podium. Podium by far is the easiest SMS marketing tool that you can use. So if you're looking to get in and get started immediately without a high learning curve, Podium would be the best choice for you. Now that we've mentioned some services that you can get started with for starting your SMS marketing, we're going to look at what you should do in terms of best practices to actually send messages out to your audience. How do you craft that perfect message to make them actually effective? And we're going to give you some tips for doing that. Number one, make sure that your messages sound like they came from an actual human. This is the single most important factor in making sure that you have a high click-through rate for your marketing messages. Consider how you would feel if you received that message. Is it something that you would find interesting or helpful or educational? Or is it something that would come across as spammy? Just taking that second to place yourself in the customer's shoes can really make a difference in how you frame your messaging. Tip number 2, make sure that your messaging is directed toward your buyer personas. We've talked about this in previous episodes. You should have an idea of what your target customer looks like. What do they sound like? What's important to them? Take that into account when you're framing what you're writing. If you're focusing on homeowners in South Florida, there's specific language that you can use that's going to identify with them more than if you're writing to customers who live in northern Iowa. There are slight differences in terms of referring to cultural events, to weather, to areas that you or they would know a little bit better than someone who is not from the area. You can use all those types of insights to make your messaging reach your target customer more effectively. Tip number 3, use emojis when it's appropriate. Believe it or not, about 30% of brands who use some type of emoji in their SMS campaigns have higher effective open rates. And this was a study that was just done in 2020. So make sure that you use imagery as well as text when you're sending out those SMS marketing messages. HubSpot suggests that your SMS marketing can also be a great opportunity for you to vary the type of messaging. Instead of just sending links for people to click on, use your text message marketing opportunity to be able to get people to take a quick poll or answer a question or to be able to advertise an event that's coming up. It doesn't just have to be them having the opportunity to take advantage of a sale or to check out a new product. Make it conversational. And our last tip to remember when you're crafting those marketing messages is to keep in mind the rule that less is more. 59% of survey respondents said that the number one reason that they unsubscribe from texts from companies is because a business sends too many and they're too long. So keep in mind that when you are sending out your marketing messages to your audience, that you really think about how many have I sent and how long are those messages. Make it a complement to your audience's life. Don't make it a distraction. The last thing we're going to discuss today is what are some starter examples that you can use to be able to start your messaging today if you so choose. We have some templates that we want to offer you to be able to give you an idea of what your text message marketing could look like. For individuals that sign up to receive text from your company, make sure that you give them some sort of welcome message that includes things like what they can expect from these text messages they're going to receive, how often those messages are going to come, and how they can unsubscribe. Be upfront with what your messaging is going to look like to the consumer. Also, after you send that welcome message, consider sending something else that includes a thank you for them signing up for your messages. This could include some sort of access to an exclusive sale. Maybe it's a promo code for a certain product. Maybe it's an event invitation. All of those things should be included in some sort of way to make the user feel like they have gained something from allowing you to message them on a semi-regular basis. Maybe you've never considered how SMS marketing could add to your customer base and improve communications with your current customers. We hope that this episode today has got you started on thinking about how SMS marketing can greatly improve your outreach. Remember, you can get started by checking out one of the platforms we recommend: Easy Texting, Textedly, or Podium. Make sure that you're getting consumers to opt in by offering some sort of discount. Make sure that your messages sound real and geared toward your buyer personas. And remember, we're offering a free download through HubSpot that can send you 30 SMS templates for marketing, sales, and customer success. Just look in the description below and you'll see that opportunity to really help jump into your SMS marketing adventure. Thanks for joining us for another episode, and we'll see you on the next one.